The holiday season can be a time of great need in our community, but so many of our local organizations are in the spirit of giving year-round. My guest today is a wonderful example of that. Welcome, Marcia from TTR Haven over the Hilltop. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Allison.
So Marcia, tell me a little bit about TTR Haven over the Hilltop.
Well, TTR was founded by my daughter and I co-founded in 2016. Mindy and her husband Jason were foster parents, and we soon found out that there was very little support for families involved with fostering. So that's when we're founded.
Okay, so you founded in 2016. Exactly what services do you try to provide?
We provide a lot of mental and emotional support, but we also provide clothing, food, diapers, wipes, baby needs like that, toys, and we also have furniture sometimes that's available.
Okay, and where are you located?
We are located in Otwell.
Otwell. So do you serve only families in Pike County, or are you for a larger area?
We will serve anyone in need that fits our mission. We have served 16 counties so far.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so what role do you play? Let's say, a child gets placed into foster care. You got some foster parents, they have a new child, and they're like, where do we start? They reach out to you.
Usually they hear about us from someone else, or DCS will, if it's foster care related, they will say, call this number, they'll get in touch with you, and then they let me know so-and-so is going to be calling you, and we talk to them and see what their needs are. More than foster care, we actually are helping kinship placements, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, different people that are taking in children that are not their blood relative or that aren't their primary caregiver.
Right. Another recent guest that I've had on this show was Lauren Alexander from the Stand Up Foundation, and she kind of talked about how great the need is for foster placements right now. There's a lot more kids needing homes than there are placements, so a lot of times families take in several kids from different families even. So someone is really feeling in their heart that they want to help foster children, but they're not in a physical location to be able to help or a financial situation to be able to help, but they want to donate to your organization, their time or resources. How can they do that?
Well, I can give you an example, one example especially of that. We have a friend of mine actually felt like that was her call, but her husband wasn't on board with it, and that's not doable. So she began to take a family that we have, 2 daughters, shopping. And she's done that for the past 4 years before school starts and for Christmas. And she kind of helps take care of the grandma too. And that's one way. So she takes the full responsibility. And the other thing about that is that they are now have another adult in their life that they're able to relate to and feel connected to. We have a lot of people that give at Christmas time, and they either give money or they get the kids' names, their list of things they want, and they purchase things like that. And we have churches that donate different things. Anything is helpful.
Right. So you said you have a physical location. Do you accept donations of, they buy some baby wipes, they buy some food. Is there a drop-off location for that?
There is, and the main drop-off place is at Hill's Auction in Otwell.
Okay.
And usually if they call me, and I like to meet them if I don't know who they are, but sometimes they just drop it off. If they're on their way by, they let me know they're coming, and they find out what we need, and then they bring things that we need.
Okay. So where does the connection for you personally come from? Where did your heart find fostering?
My aunt and uncle, when I was a little girl, were foster parents, and I loved to go there. They were very welcoming, and the children were always different and new. And as a little kid, that was exciting.
Right.
So that's the very first introduction that I ever had to foster care. Then my daughter and her husband, when they became foster parents, we saw the need so profound, and we thought, we want to do this too. So my husband and I started fostering then as well.
Okay. And there is a little bit of a ranch connection. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what's that?
Well, my daughter and her husband, Mindy and Jason, they have a ranch, and it's called TTR. It stands for Triple Threat Ranch. And when we founded TTR, Mindy really wanted to use those same letters. So we worked to come out with the words that were appropriate for our acronym.
Right, right. So you provide these services. Do you have any kind of events throughout the year to kind of raise awareness?
Yes. Depends on the need in the community, what is going on, but usually our goal is sometime in the summer and once in the fall. Those are pretty well definites, and then other times. Sometimes we do Christmas. April, we join DCS for Child Abuse and Awareness Month. But what we've started to do that we found out has really been helpful is we have family events. All of our families that are involved with us, they're invited to come and bring their children, and we have a meal, they play games, we may have education. We've had Crisis Connection come on one evening and educated the families. And if you're a licensed foster parent, education is critical. You have to have so many hours every year to stay a foster parent. So what we found out when we did that was all of these kids come and they look at somebody and they're like, oh, you're at my school. And being in foster care is not something that someone announces or they're proud of, and they're embarrassed, and sometimes it's hard to fit in. But once they know there's other children like them, it really builds up their esteem, and they become close friends a lot of times.
Right, because they have that connection. And like you said, sometimes then even at those events, the adults can realize, hey, I have someone I can lean on. There's no need to be, no matter which end they're on for foster, right?
Yes.
So they're all invited to these events.
Yes.
And they can find, friendship and guidance from everyone at the events.
Yes.
Not just you guys with your organization, but the others as well. So yeah, what a great opportunity you're providing.
We've had several times where the grandparents come together and the aunts, uncles, with the foster parents. They can learn from each other, which is really great. And then those grandparents, their situation is a little special because it's their own children that were involved. And there's a lot of undeserving judgment sometimes that people give them. And they get that support from other grandparents that know what they feel and how hard it is. And if they can join forces and help each other out or just be that support system, that's powerful stuff.
Right, yeah, because I think so many times, I think grandparents are ready to settle into the grandparent role, and then having to become a parent again is just a totally new set of challenges. They've done it before, but times have changed, and they're older, and there's set of challenges that regular grandparents who get to be grandparents don't understand. And I think so you having resources and things like that can help them out. And I think Kinship is always the placement that you hope for, right? I mean, and that's, you're trying to keep the families together. So that's an amazing thing that you guys are providing. So do you have anything else you'd like to add? Or if someone kind of, is in one of our watch areas and they have a foster child and they think they might benefit, how do they contact you?
They can contact us through Messenger. They can go to our Facebook page, TTR Haven over the Hilltop, or they can call phone number 812-789-6652. So they can do that, call, or even get in touch with their county agency for DCS, and that's helpful. A lot of information gets shared by word of mouth. We've helped other people, and then they'll say, hey, I think these people can help you.
Right, exactly. So anyway, thank you so much for coming today, Marcia. I think your organization is just something that the community needs. And like I said before, it takes people with the heart for volunteering to step up and fill these gaps in our community that are really needed. there's nothing there for them until people like you step up and create them. So thank you, Marcia, for spreading your information and coming on this show. And if you would like to contact her, the phone numbers are listed, and you can follow them by following their Facebook page.